Hey guys, before I get into this video, man, if you would, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed and you like the content, share, comment. Yes, let's have this little conversation.
Your hustle gotta be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.
All right, guys. One thing to be sure that you are aware of when you come out here: drivers, just people in this industry in general. It could be the brokers, it can be dispatchers. I mean, it can be a lot of everybody, but drivers especially, because that's who you're going to be dealing with mostly as far as the number of people, different people. But there are some grimy bitches, grimy. So please be careful when you come out here. Same thing even when you're doing your research and you talk to some of these guys. Be sure that you talk to multiple people, and that way you can get a better idea of the information that's being told to you, because a lot of drivers just talk out the side of their neck. Other drivers are just shit. Other drivers know what they're talking about. There's just such a wide range of the type of drivers that are out here. But overall, there is a lot of really grimy people out here. And I say that because of a post I seen today, and I wanted to touch on it before anyhow, but I was talking to a fleet owner a couple weeks ago, and I'm also telling you guys this, any of you that are going to be driving, so you kind of understand why some of these fleet owners have such tight restrictions in their contracts and whatnot. Because a lot of these guys have been burned or have talked to people that have been burned, so they basically do put everything they can to protect themselves and their investment of the vehicle, in the contract. Doesn't always mean that they're going to stick to it 100% on some of the stipulations that are in a contract, but understand why it's, they're written the way they are. And this one in particular, this was by far the craziest thing I've heard that a driver's done with a van. I've heard, obviously, trash vans. I mean, there's a fleet owner that when he got his straight truck back, box truck or whatever, and even another van owner, just bags and bags of trash. I mean, what I had to go through with the dirty van wasn't even close to some of the worst I've seen out here and heard about. I'm talking, there was one guy, when he got his van back, the dude, however he messed up the door, but he had one of the I think it was a passenger driver's side door. One of the doors was basically being held shut with a ratchet strap. It didn't tell the fleet owner about that problem at any point. Didn't find out about it until he picked the van up. And that same van, just bags and bags of trash had to be filled in. I mean, the trash was laying everywhere. Plus, there was a few trash bags of stuff sitting there anyhow, but there was, multiple bags of trash after they was done cleaning it. Heard that happen a couple of times. There was a straight truck owner had the same thing. I think he said he had 10 bags of trash. He was kind of giving me some shit about my driver leaving a mess. As I said, the mess my driver left isn't even close to some of the worst. So, that's just some of the stuff. Now, the craziest thing is, I was talking to a fleet owner a couple weeks ago, and he was basically parting ways with the driver. As I said, I can't remember 100% if the driver was the one that made the decision to part ways, or if it was the fleet owner, or what. But regardless, the driver at one point finally went home with the van, went to his house with the van. And the agreement is that when the driver and the owner part ways, the van gets taken back to where it was picked up from, which is the yard of that carrier. And the van also gets, you know, full tank of gas in it, you know, because that's how they got it, all those good things. Well, this dude took his sweet old time, wasn't taking the vehicle back to the yard. Fleet owner got a hold of him like, hey man, I need my van back there, you know, tomorrow, or, you know, I'm going to do this and this and that about it, you know, as far as the fault. Guy's like, well, I ain't taking it all the way back up to the yard. I'll take it to one of these other local yards that, you know, is basically a subsidiary or just, you know, the same company, but it's not the main lot where orientation is done where the van needs to go. So it's like, okay, well, he never did. The guy never took the van back. And I believe this has been well over a year now. I think about a year and a half. And that fleet owner has never gotten his van back. Never. He's, you know, done everything he can. You know, he's looked around for the van. He's, you know, put in through the BMV and, you know, everything else. And that van has never surfaced.
In 2 miles,
so
left 2 lanes to take exit 107 for I-70 East.
To me, that's just mind-blowing, man. Like, that is the craziest shit. Like, how in the hell does this person have it in them to just keep somebody's shit like that? Like, that person obviously just has no shits to give to keep that thing and not worry about getting in trouble or anything. Why are these people going so slow around this thing, man? Jesus criminy. This dude all up on the phone. All up on the phone, man. That's why that sumbitch was going so slow. It looks like he got a raggedy piece of shit anyhow, but going slow as hell because it's all up on his phone. But anyhow, yeah. That dude never got his freaking van back. Which leads me to today's post. Somebody is searching for their van. They terminated the contract with the driver, and driver is now AWOL with the van. So he put a post out asking anybody, hey, if you see this van, put a picture of the van up, unit number such and such. If you see it, please contact us, this number. Do not approach the van, just please call us. So hopefully he ends up getting his van back. Hopefully he doesn't have the same thing happen. I'd be curious if that's happened to other fleet owners before or not.
Use the left 2 lanes.
That's just crazy.
For I-70 East toward Wheeling.
Now, I reached out to the guy in private and asked him,
Use the left 2 lanes to take exit 107.
asked him if he wanted to give me the name of the driver to see if I can, you know, get in touch with the people I know and see if anybody knows the driver and see if I can help him recover his van. You know, he chose not to give me the name, which I understand to a point, but somewhat I don't understand it. Now, if he doesn't want to share it until he gets his van back, and then he shares it after he gets his van back, that, you know, I can understand that, I guess, because that's something I don't get about some of these fleet owners. I'm not saying go out there and trash talk these drivers and be an asshole or anything like that, but at the same time, don't sit back and not let other people know about these drivers, man. That don't make sense, man, because I watch several drivers that are just, they're trash, man. They're trash. And you see them go from carrier, well, from fleet owner to fleet owner to fleet owner, and it's frustrating because nobody wants to tell anybody about the shit. Nobody wants to be like, hey, man, don't hire this guy. I know there's a few of them that do their best and will let others know if they see that this driver is asking about trying to get a position with them or something, you know. But man, like, put it out there. Especially, I mean, again, you know, if you know you're 100% in the right and this driver's just complete trash, I mean, say it. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. I understand that fleet owners, and same goes for fleet owners. I mean, there's shit fleet owners, you know, they need to be called out too. It's not like I'm the governing or policing the entire freaking industry or anything, but I try to do my best to keep track of who's who and who's worth of shit. You know, them independently don't put their business out there, so I don't try to base that stuff out, but I definitely try to pay attention and you know, offer whatever advice I have or whatever information I have about, you know, a certain fleet owner or a certain driver. I just yeah, it just sucks to see some of these drivers just keep, you know, getting by with fleet owner after fleet owner, and same thing with some of these fleet owners that continue to rip off driver after driver. It's super frustrating. I wish there was a way to really hammer down on that a little more, but it's really difficult. Yeah, it is what it is. Just do our best.